Good morning, beautiful people of Bielsa State. Thanks for joining us on Golding 97.5 FM Yenagoa, and welcome to another enlightening edition of Let's Talk Nigeria, the program where we take the burning issues of the moment, put them on the table, and dissect them with honesty, clarity, and insight. I am Moye Stevie.
And I am Paul Oblomugbasa.
As always, it is a privilege to keep you company this morning. Today we'll bring you a very unusual and thought-provoking discussion that sits at the intersection of politics, international law, and human rights. Our topic this morning is appraising the judgment of a Canadian federal court. Now, is the court right to deny Douglas Egharevba asylum because he was previously a member of APC and PDP? Now, for those who may not have followed the story closely, here is the background. Douglas Egharevba, a Nigerian citizen, had sought asylum in Canada, citing fear of persecution and instability back home. However, in its ruling, the Canadian Federal Court denied his application, pointing to his past affiliation with Nigeria's two dominant political parties, the All Progressives Congress (APC) and the People's Democratic Party (PDP). The implication of the judgment is that membership in these political parties may be viewed internationally not as grounds for protection, but as evidence of complicity in the very system from which the applicant claims to seek refuge.
Now, this raises many questions. Of course, is it justifiable for a foreign court to deny asylum to a Nigerian simply because he once belonged to APC or PDP? Does party membership automatically translate to responsibility for the actions or misdeeds of those parties? Or is this judgment a dangerous precedent that could unfairly stigmatize Nigerians who participate in mainstream politics? But on the flip side, one might argue that the Canadian court is sending a message that Nigerians' ruling parties are perceived abroad as entities associated with corruption, maladministration, or abuse of human rights, and therefore their members cannot easily present themselves as victims. The word victims. But how fair is this assessment? After all, millions of Nigerians have been members of supporters of these parties at one time or the other. Should every one of them now be tainted by association? This case forces us to look beyond one man's asylum's bid and ask deeper questions about Nigeria's global image. What does it say when the political associations that dominate our democracy are seen by outsiders as reasons to doubt the credibility or innocence of their former members? And how should Nigerians, home, abroad, and in diaspora, respond to such judgment?
To help us unpack these issues, we have a very special guest joining us all the way from Lagos via Zoom, Justice Ojienoh, Esquire, a seasoned legal practitioner and analyst who will guide us through the legal, political, and ethical dimensions of this case. With his expertise, we will explore whether the Canadian Federal Court's decision was legally sound, diplomatically sensitive, or simply misguided. Yes, we've not been able to establish the connection yet, but we're trying to get it. But when we get it, we will bring him on. But as always, our phone lines will be open, and we invite you, our listeners, our valued listeners, to call in and share your perspectives. Do you think the court was right? Should Douglas Egharevba have been granted asylum regardless of his past political affiliations? And more importantly, what lessons should Nigeria learn from this episode? Now, this promises to be a deep and eye-opening conversation because we even have a legal practitioner with us today. So it's going to be interesting. Stay tuned. Don't touch the dial. This is Let's Talk Nigeria on Golding 97.5 FM Yenagoa. Let's begin. All right, so let's get started with the conversation. Let's find out if our guest, Justice Ojienoh from Lagos, is with us. Good morning. Are you there with us?
Good morning to you. I'm with you.
Hello.
I'm with all the listeners. It's my pleasure to join you. I'm
Okay,
with
so
you and I'm with all our
yes,
listeners, and
we
it's
could
my
see yes, you're
pleasure.
there, but we could barely hear. We could barely hear you. So we're still working on the audio. When we get the audio correctly, we'll bring you on. So Barrister Justice Ojienoh is joining us from Lagos. We would like him to respond to these questions. For instance, if he could briefly explain the Canadian Federal Court's ruling in Douglas Egharevba's asylum case. Hello, Justice again. Are you there? Have you?
Yes, can you hear me? Is it better now?
Okay, so before we get him, this is it. The court denied his asylum request on the grounds that his past membership in APC and PDP
Can you
associated
new one?
him with political
Yeah? Wait.
organizations accused of corruption and human rights abuses. To me,
You want to,
essentially, the court ruled that he did
so why am I
not
taking
qualify
one ear when
as someone in need of protection because of those affiliations. I don't know. Justice, can you can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hello, can you hear us? Hello.
Can you hear me now?
Okay.
Hello?
We can hear you.
Hello?
Okay, we can hear you. All right, go ahead. We can hear you.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. Hello, we can hear you now. Go ahead. Okay, so okay. Hello, Justice. Okay, so we try to explain it.
I
So
can
as
hear
I
you
was
now. Can
saying,
you hear me?
Paul, the court denied his asylum request on the grounds that his past membership in the APC and PDP associated him with political organization accused of corruption and human rights abuses. Essentially, the court ruled that he did not qualify as someone in need of protection because of those affiliations. Paul, I feel a little bit uncomfortable because, as we said in the background, that if the Canadian court ruled against him because he was a member of the APC and the PDP, millions of Nigerians have also supported one party or the other, especially the two major parties in Nigeria. So, are you saying that if we are planning to have something to do with another country, another nation, especially Canada, we would be denied as well because of our affiliations with the political parties? This is not going to be too good, as far as I'm concerned. It's going to discriminate, more or less like discriminate against those who support political parties in Nigeria. And for me, if you ask me, and some would celebrate, some would say, okay, let them do so that Nigerians will not go there. But it's not right. We do have opportunities of traveling abroad and have things to do with people abroad. So denying denying Nigerians from traveling abroad and have things to do with other people in other parts of the world would not be right. But in this case, it's a case of asylum. Leaving your country because you feel you're being persecuted in your country and you're going abroad. The Canadian court did not say Nigerians should not come to to Canada, and do things, but that we are not going to grant you asylum to come stay in our country because they think you're running away from the same country that you once served, and the two political parties that you once served were parties that they term as corrupt. And so the whole thing is very complicated and dicey. What's your perspective?
I think for me also, that's why we had to bring Justice Ojienoh, and he's joined. Where did you find out? Because it is quite worrisome. And let's, from a legal standpoint, Justice Ojienoh, does a membership of a political party without evidence of direct wrongdoing constitute enough grounds to deny an asylum application? Let's start with that first.
Okay. For me, I think that it's a no, and it's if they are practicing democracy in Canada, in order to be able to practice it properly and correctly, they too would have affiliated with a political party in one way or the other. Their government doesn't fall from heaven. And a lot of times, too, people that vote too are members of political parties. And in fact, people are encouraged to be part of political parties because political parties are one of the essential pillars of democracy. So I do not think that simply just merely being a member of a political party grounds or labels a person terrorist, or in order to be able to deny such a person maybe help in times of emergency, as genuine asylum seekers usually request from time to time. And if asylum as a means of helping people out, especially people who are dissidents, it is not put in place by other countries, then there will be democracy will die. Democracy will die. Everybody that wants to fight maybe dictatorship, they will have to fight it within the borders, and dictators by their characters are known not to be able to tolerate dissent, and they will kill everybody within their system. So the idea of asylum is a very, very good one if it is not being abused as a lot of Nigerians do. I'm a legal practitioner, and in my line of work, I've seen a lot of things in this regard. People approach you to help them draft one lie, help them take one lie in a letter, help them do one appeal, help them craft a document to deceive an embassy abroad and things like that. So the shenanigans are practically limitless. People are trying to do everything possible, even underhand tactics, in order to be able to leave this country. Sometimes their sexual orientation, they say they are persecuted because they are gay or lesbian and things like that. There's practically no limits to the kind of lies that in the asylum application, all they need to just live. So for those ones, I condemn them outrightly. For genuine asylum seekers that are fleeing persecution, they should be allowed into any country, including Nigeria. Nigeria should open. So one of the reasons why Nigeria is enjoying stability is because at some point Charles Taylor was received into this country. If Charles Taylor had not been received into this country by President Olusegun Obasanjo at the time, Nigeria would still remain in power because there's no way the person in power will yield power, and I commend you to the words of the same power.
Okay, so Justice Ojienoh, did the Canadian court apply the law correctly? And if yes, of course, you're going to give your answers. But could this ruling be an indictment of Nigeria's ruling parties?
Okay, for me, let me tell you why my situation is peculiarly difficult. I'm not an outsider, I'm a practitioner, I practice in court. And as a lawyer, I'm not supposed to be talking from the standpoint of emotions. The way our courts are crafted, the way the laws are crafted, a judge is supposed to decide the matter based on the evidence set before him. A judge is not supposed to read newspapers before giving a court judgment. So it's the strength of evidence, it's the strength of argument of lawyers on both sides that actually sway the judge in one way or the other. I do not expect the judge to be reading from far paper in Canada, oh, what political party is APC, what political party is PDP, in some other parts of Nigeria in order to be able to guide it in its judgment. If it is doing that, then it is working outside of the law. So I want to probably blame the persons who presented the case of the asylum seeker as not sufficiently distancing the political parties in Nigeria from the asylum seeker. So I don't exactly have the exhibits and evidence before the court. So if I had access, of course, what I had was judgment. If I had the way the case was conducted, then I may be able to say, oh, this judge didn't do a good job or not. So if the case was presented and strongly so on the side of what the judge decided, then there's what my comment can be on that issue. I'm a lawyer. I'm supposed to stay within the four walls of the courtroom. And you're asking these questions because of my profession. So these are some of the particular difficulties that I have. But if you now ask me that, okay, outside of my toga, I should take off my toga as a lawyer, and I should speak upon what the average man will see, it will probably still be the same thing. Except if I'm talking as a Nigerian. If I'm talking as a Nigerian, it will be painful. So my opinion exactly may not be that of a diplomat, that of the
I think we're just having a freeze right there. Just again, are you back there? Okay. Okay. So while we wait for us to reconnect with Justice again all the way from Lagos, we want to give you the opportunity to participate as well. You know, we are looking at that issue. A lot of Nigerians have been asking questions, have been, talking about this issue for a while now. We thought we should bring it up on Let's Talk Nigeria for you to, have your own say in the matter. We're appraising the judgment of a Canadian federal court, and we're asking, is the court right to deny Mr. Douglas Egharevba asylum because he was previously a member of the APC and the PDP? And we just want to know, what is your own take? Not with emotions, but let's look at it from very rational standpoint. We have quite a number of questions to ask you. For instance, now we are asking, could this ruling be an indictment of Nigeria's ruling parties? Should all Nigerians who were members of APC or PDP be viewed with suspicion abroad? These are some of the questions that we would want you to ask. We want you to answer. The numbers are 0707 747 1522. 0912 000 1975. You can still send us a message on WhatsApp with the number 0912 000 1975. Justice, are you there with us? Are you still there with us?
Yes, I'm with you again now. Sorry.
Okay.
I don't know what the issue is.
Okay.
But it's fine. It's fine. Now with these things that you've just said, because some persons were wondering, what does, because we're concerned about this case setting a precedent for other nations to just really get to pick up, because we've also found out that prior to this case, we saw the issue with issues with our rapport with Ghana. We saw this other thing. So it's more or less like Nigerian matters are sweeping up all of a sudden. But now, does this ruling set a precedent that could affect future asylum applications from Nigerians with political backgrounds?
Okay, for me, I think that it doesn't exactly. And one of the major reasons why I say that is because Canada got its own practicing law from the British, just like the UK. So generally, the way they approach court matters will be the way we approach court matters. In fact, while we deplored from the UK in 1963 by becoming a republic and Nnamdi Azikiwe becoming the president, the Queen of England or the King of England, as stands present, is still the King of Canada, while even though they have the Prime Minister. So our judicial system is essentially the same. Since they have a ruling, it can still be appealed. There is no reason why APC, for example, or PDP, or the Nigerian government, or the Nigerian foreign ministry cannot apply to be joined as a party, as an interested party in that case, in order to excise the issue of the APC and the PDP being terrorist organizations, getting the ruling of the appellate court to efface that part. I'm not saying they should try to get Mr. Egharevba back his asylum to be restituted. No, I'm not in support of anybody that goes to paint a whole nation in the bad light for their parochial selfish and personal interest. There is no way I will advocate for such a person. But that part that talks about the terrorist nature of APC or PDP, or the fact that any Nigerian that belongs to a political party should be tainted, I think that part should be faced from the judgment. So that approach is open, and there should also be public sensitization to people that this shouldn't be a one-off situation where you now use this kind of ruling, a ruling that is absolutely unfair. I believe that ruling must have been as a result of bad lawyering, and any client that has a bad lawyer or has an incompetent lawyer will have to face the consequence of having the bad lawyer or an incompetent lawyer, because there's a presumption that all lawyers are equal. So the judge is supposed to take that the reason why this lawyer is because he doesn't have a good case. So that is why, as much as possible, we have to spare the judge. If it is established that it is terrible lawyering, and we shouldn't rush to judgment to say that, oh, Canada did this bad to us, they are legally enlightened. But of course, I do not expect this to be the opinion or the take of a diplomat on this issue. So whether it's going to be president, I do not think it's going to be president to a large extent. Of course, when things get into seep into public opinion, they tend to take a different morphology. But I feel that this shouldn't be the case in this situation. And yes, the Nigerian Foreign Ministry has protested. They should take it up a notch by actually going to court and get another court or a higher court of the Canadian system to efface that part of judgment, because it rubs up badly and terribly on us, especially with people who want to take advantage of conversations without having a holistic picture.
Okay, so let's remind the listener that you can follow us on Facebook right now. We are streaming live. You could watch Justice Ojienoh Esquire right there on Facebook as he analyzes this issue that we're looking at this morning. It's time for you now to call in and contribute. While the conversation was going on, quite a number of our callers have been calling, but now is your time for you to call in and contribute to the conversation. Once again, the numbers are 0707 747 1522, 0912 1975. You can send text messages to the WhatsApp number 0912 1975, and drop your messages on Facebook as well. We're going to be reading out those messages. If you have any question, of course, Justice Ojienoh Esquire will be able to answer all those questions to your satisfaction. So let's get down to the music, to the course now. Good morning, and thanks for joining us.
Yeah. Good morning, Sir Paul.
Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Yes, this is Comrade Ayoko.
Okay,
Comrade.
is good manners. Who knows what they are avoiding? Let me come to Nigeria in particular. We as Nigerians, are we okay? Are we satisfied the way and manner these political parties in this country is doing the selection process? So they know what they are avoiding. So we should not put the blame directly to them. Although they may have put it as a law, so that we will know that I'm into this. I'm not supposed to come to this country. I'm not supposed to do this. So it's so pathetic and quite saddening. This is the little I have to say. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you very much for your contribution this morning. We appreciate you as well. Like you said, you can go on Facebook and drop your messages there. We will read them out for your listening pleasure. Let's take this one. Hello, good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning. Kingsley from Opolo.
Okay, Kingsley. Please go ahead, Kingsley.
Please don't be angry with my assertion, so because you might have looked at what is going on in Nigeria. These two parties over the time have raped democracy in Nigeria. They have also raped the rule of law. They have disobeyed laws from even the highest courts, their leadership. They have been in supervision of mass burial of their citizens via the activities of terrorists unabated. The hospitals are not working. People are dying in droves in hospitals. Is it not an act of terrorism? So I don't know. These people might have their facts. Why they declare these two parties a terrorist group? Terrorist is not only when you have guns and shoot at people. When there is leadership failure and the people are dying by non-state actors, unabated, inadequacies must be paid for. Are you hearing me? So I don't know why people are reacting that way. They must have facts why they declare those two parties terrorist group. So it's just to seek for the facts. What were the facts why they say so? So that's my assertion.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning, Godi FM. My name is Ali Crossing, Officer Joshua.
Okay, Ali Crossing. Go ahead, please.
The conversation is still going on. I just left this morning concerning the Canada issue and the two party this. Yes, exactly what's in my mind. The last call I said, because if you watch this two party very well, not be just carry hammer and ammunition, carry dagger and this thing. Now you call yourself already. They observe these two parties where they are leading this country. They don't even care about the masses. People they are trying, people they are even jump to other countries because of the leadership of the leader of the country. They are not even stand their hands very well. If they can do very well, I don't think this Canada they can just discuss these two parties they are terrorist organization. Do you understand? So if they can just learn from other countries, they should make the correction from this early hour moment so that they can correct everything. Because it's not only Canada, they have made that statement out. There is other countries here, they are looking them, but they are no one to make that comment. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you. Appreciate you. More calls. We'll take more calls. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning,
Good morning.
Yes, this is Alison calling from Okaka.
Alison.
Okay, Alison. Thank you.
Yes, all of us are good.
We greet you too, sir.
Yeah, you see my take on this issue. For the Canadian law courts to giving judgment that since this very man comes to the two political parties that have ruled this country for years, they are terrorist organization. If you look at the term of the country, what is currently happening to? We not try to be frank from the truth. The court is not far from the truth. It's what we are passing through in this country. So politicians should begin to change their mentality and change their mindset towards bettering the lives of the people.
so that everybody will know that the country is going well and people will gain respect in the international community. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We appreciate you. We'll take one more call before we return to Justice Ojienoh. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, my good people in the studio.
Good morning.
Yeah, my name is Colin Stono. I'm calling from Upper.
Okay. Go ahead, please.
My brother, the truth and nothing but the truth. What the name they gave Nigeria, that is what we are. We could not go argue about it. The truth is that, okay, for example now, the world are watching us. So somebody make that announcement that once you cross to APC, your sin is forgiven. What sin do you commit? Is it not sin of embezzling Nigerian money, Nigerian money? All the sins that you have committed as that is number one. My brother, I'm expecting people in Britain to do what? Be sincere to label Nigeria a terrorist country, especially this two organization, APC and the PDP. They are the problem that we have in this country. They are the problem. So for these people to call us APC and the PDP a terrorist organization, they are 100% right. They are even more than terrorists. They are demons. I'm sorry to use this language. Because why? How can somebody, you said that you are receiving a 1.5 billion naira and you are going with the best jet in the world, which even the president that they are not very well and knows that kind of jet. You are telling me that you are receiving a 1.5 million naira. Who are we deceiving ourselves? And you tell Nigeria that you are 100% rich. Your wife said that we don't come to the touch Nigeria money. We are Nigeria. And now what is happening? What is happening? What the name that they gave Nigeria, we are worse than that. APC and PD, the name that they gave to them, they are worse than that. Thank you very much.
All right. Okay. We just want to put it out there. Well, the thoughts of the callers, of course, are not the thoughts of Golding 97.5 FM. No doubt about that. But we need to be very, very fair and mild in the way we go about our own, making our points. Please, we will appreciate that. So let's return to Justice Ojienoh. Justice, are you still there with us?
I'm loud and clear.
Okay.
Can I just respond?
Yes. It's like Nigerians are not happy with this.
You can say that again, and the Bible will say that you are like a yam that you want to roast, and now using red palm oil to douse itself in red palm oil. So I think that Nigerians are in a very, very terrible state when it comes to these two political parties. And it looks like you are practically pitting me against members of the public. But my hands are tied, as Justice Showemoff famously said in the case of Awolowo and Shagari. I'm supposed to tell you from the standpoint of what might have happened in court to have occasioned this outlandish magnitude 7 earthquake level of comment or judgment from the court. So I still assert that it is possible that it is bad and terrible lawyering. A judge is not supposed to Google PDP or APC before he decides on what PDP or APC represents before it. If the lawyer to the government of Canada that is fighting against the asylum application of Mr. Egharevba actually made solid arguments as to why APC and PDP representation, it beholds on the lawyers hired by Mr. Egharevba or even he himself, if he is representing himself, to present contrary evidence to the courts that the PDP and APC are the prime parties in Nigeria and they are not terrorist organizations. And I know that if the argument has been made, it would have been a low-hanging fruit for the court to decide on. The danger about arguments in court is if a party presents an argument and you either don't sufficiently give a counter or you don't respond to that point of argument at all, in Nigeria, the court is bound to take that argument as the truth. So if that is what is happening in our Nigerian courts, and that's what makes the common sense, that's what would have happened too. That's what might have happened. I don't want to be absolute in what happened there. And we are talking about fairness of the judicial system. A lot of people will trust the Canadian system more than even the Nigerian system, including Nigerian courts. So whatever decision must have been made, it must have been made based on the evidence that was presented before the court. And I feel that the lawyers that represent cause of the PDP and probably Mr. Egharevba did a terrible job. I stand to be corrected. I'm sorry, I'm not alleging, I'm not frontally going against the professionalism or the competence of another person, but that is my suspicion in this case. So, and as a lawyer, I'm bound to say what the position of the law is. I'm not happy with the PDP, I'm not happy with the APC, but I'm not comfortable with the millions and millions of members of those parties being a la carte labeled as terrorists. Because a label as terrorism, it has serious implications. You can't do financial transactions, including internationally. You can't travel, and implications that we may not use this time slot to go into. But that's generally what I'm really happy about.
Okay, so Justice Ojienoh, we will be back shortly after this commercial break. We want to go for a commercial break. When we return, we will now look at some of the few questions that we have here and take some calls, and then we just round off. We're still right here on Let's Talk Nigeria. The topic has been the issue of the federal court in Canada, giving out a very, very funny judgment, if you ask us. But when we return, we'll continue with the conversation.
This is your golden moment. 97.5 Golden FM, the gold standard of radio.
Are you looking for a great car rental service in Ojienoh City of Bayelsa State? Experience the best with AB Mercantile. Premium cars for corporate ride, reliable rides for travels, economy option for daily drive. At AB Mercantile Limited, we offer a range of services. We pride ourselves as being the first resident car rental service provider in Bayelsa State. We offer daily rental services, event car rental services, pickups and drop-offs, escort security services, driver services, vehicle leasing, fleet management for businesses. Mark your calendar. AB Mercantile Limited is launching on Wednesday, 10 September 2025. Visit us at Grace Pearl Plaza, first floor, Opolo Market Road, Yenagoa, Bayelsa State. We are open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday to Saturday. Book online at abmercantilelimited.com or call us at 070-749-7212 or email us at info@abmercantilelimited. For more information, AB Mercantile Limited, your ride's destiny.
Shining brighter than ever. 97.5 FM, the gold standard of radio.
All right, so we're back to the final lap of the program. Let's Talk Nigeria. We're praising the judgment of a Canadian federal court. And the question is the court right to deny Douglas Egharevba asylum because he was previously a member of the APC and the PDP? Justice Ojienoh, Esquire, has been with us all the way from Lagos via Zoom. He has given quite a number of perspectives, quite interesting anyway, the conversation is interesting, and all the contributors for, speaking with rage and anger and why it serves them right, okay, but then it does affect every other Nigerian, Paul.
Yeah, it doesn't, of course, it doesn't affect every other Nigerian. So that's why we're looking at it from the legal perspective and seeing how we can, as Nigerians, really get the fair. So now, the fact that the APC is being fingered, the PDP is being fingered, and all the things. You were talking about it earlier when you were explaining it. You said that it's time for them to go and I think to go to appeal the sentence, because that thing terrorist is a huge thing. and it's a red flag for every country, every other country. When they see terrorists, oh, that is going to be something. So, what do you think the image makers plus the councils to both PDP and APC, including the federal government? I know that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs has spoken about the federal government. So, what should they do immediately to really get to appeal this thing? What moves should they do?
Okay, for me, I think that they've done, they've taken a few of the steps in the right direction, and I feel that they should actually walk the way completely. They should leave no stone unturned. They can't just release a public statement and things like that. Ordinarily, I feel that in matters like this, diplomatically, they ought to have summoned the High Commissioner of Canada or something in order to further show it to the world that we are not taking this laying low. So that's number one. Number two is beyond the paparazzi, beyond the what we see on the street, initial grab. They should actually ensure that corrections are also made with the court system, because whatever the court says, in a manner of speaking, especially in this situation, is the law. The reason why we are having a conversation around this is because it is something serious. It is the third arm of government in Canada, and that is the labeling that the APC and PDP has. I feel that with all alacrity and dispatch, they ought to have put in their appeal to that statement against them, because again, this will not just affect members of those political parties, it will affect all Nigerians. It will affect all Nigerians. So they have to do everything they need to do. While and by the time they litigate it through the courts, by the time there's a judgment, they should also publicize it even with much more vigor, to tell the world that our name has been expunged. We are not a terrorist organization. We are just a political party, like political parties are in other necks of the wood. APC and PDP are not only the parties that have a flash of violence here and there. In fact, in some parts of Nigeria, it is more than a flash. So I'm going to admit that much. Again, it doesn't arise to a threshold of being labeled a terrorist organization. Their job and all they employ is to get power, and it's not to reign terror as the main ideology of terrorist organizations.
Justice, this question is very important for me. So, if Douglas Egharevba had belonged to a smaller political party, would his asylum bid have been treated differently?
I do not think so. And I even dare say that the major reason why he must have been denied will not have been his affiliation to these political parties. I believe that what in this judgment, the belonging to these political parties are actually what we call obiter dicta. Obiter dicta is where the judge is talking one here and there. He can make some comments in order to portray what his main points are. So if you were to have been a member of other smaller political parties, you will not have been able to still get in. See, there are a lot of shenanigans, just like I said in my opener. Nigerians are willing to put in any story. Sometimes they say they are being persecuted because they are gay, they are being they are being persecuted because of on religious grounds, and because they attack the political party, blah 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 blah. So they must have. I think he was trying to open a fresh frontier by saying, "Oh, he belongs to this political party. That is the reason why." Because the gay thing, they are equivalent of ICE. They already caught it, and they are immune to it now. It's not working on them again. Maybe we wanted to open a fresh frontier, and they caught his hand in the tail, and they felt that. So these are some of the facts that were not presented to us, except the content of the judgment, because sometimes when you are reading a judgment, it doesn't contain the exact or the figure that the lawyers used to argue in court. Of course, it will just be one or two reviews of what the lawyers actually thought. That's what you see in the eventual judgment. So the facts and circumstances must have been unique enough for the court to feel that no, you have not swayed me. So maybe he just tried to put that to sweeten the pie, to sweeten the pot, and that's too fast. Just remove your hand. You won't get it. And as much as possible, yes, Nigeria is difficult. The APC and the PDP, they have not done well by the Nigerian people. But as much as possible, the Nigerian people should now try to escape Nigeria by planting blatant lies against their fellow Nigerians back in the country, whether they belong in political parties or they do not belong to political parties. Go to seek asylum on merit. Go with the truth. If you get it, you get it. If it is strong enough and they feel that you are being persecuted enough, they may allow you in. But if they are not allowing you in, you have to stay back with your other fellow more than 200 million of us. We have not left the country, we are facing it, and we are praying and hoping at some point a very, very good leaders will take the reins of power to make this country realize its potential as it possibly can attain. See, this Nigeria, I was talking to some people on a journey back to Lagos yesterday, and everybody just kept saying that those countries are too hard. Canada is hard, UK is hard, why are people rushing down there? Nigeria is where you can really enjoy your life. The challenge we just have as a country is the challenge of leadership. Remove leadership from the equation. There is no country as happy as us, as enjoyable as us. You can't. I don't want to go too much into it to paint other countries bad, but this country is beautiful. This country is enjoyable. All we just need is better leadership for the greatest happiness or the greatest number for more people to be able to be elevated out of poverty. Then you see, what are you going out there for? They work too hard. They are depressed. They don't sleep enough. They are going to die paying bills. They are probably not going to make it to wealth. All they will be able to do is the maximum is to be comfortable, and even in the comfort, you should be careful of not getting into more legal trouble or other legal trouble that can make your life a complete quagmire. I'm not doing this to market Nigeria, but that's the state of fact. Nigeria is a beautiful place. We just need to get the leadership right. We've been there, we've done that. We listen to the people who live there. We relate to them on a daily basis, and it's not funny. You just need them to get you to tell you the truth.
That's right. Justice, we do appreciate you. We're about rounding off this conversation. More calls coming in, but we can't take the calls because we have to go. But as a way of rounding up, in your view, what lessons should Nigerians, and particularly politicians, draw from this case about global perceptions of our political culture? And what advice would you give to Nigerians seeking asylum abroad?
Okay, for me, I do not really like to talk to Nigerian politicians. I don't like talking about them because their ears are completely. They go there on a daily basis. Their children are there. That's where they go to hospital. That's where they go to vacate. That's where they go to do everything they do in their life. They only come here to be buried. In fact, they now go die. Our presidents now go there to die. They just come here to be buried. They just ensure that compulsorily they are going to be buried. So I don't like talking to Nigerian politicians because their ears are completely blocked. And it is a shame. And until Nigerians take these issues seriously, that's when we ensure that putting leadership is a very, very serious thing. We shouldn't leave it to the 9th, 11th hour where they will give a bag of rice and you still go ahead to support them and vote for them. We have 4 years to regret it, like we are regretting it now. So once we get leadership right, even my advice also to Nigeria, once we get leadership right, and anything we can do in order to be able to get leadership right legally, we should banish all the ways that they try to bring and placate and set us against each other in order to be able to get power and still undermine the greatness or the potential of this country. So the recruitment process, we should ensure that the Electoral Act is amended, the Constitution is amended, and the Evidence Act is